Hello and welcome. According to the Pathfinder poll application, in this video, I'm going to review Flux project. Let's start. While I'm recording this video, Flux project is located around 250 plays on CoinGecko and it has a market cap around $200 million. Let's go to the webpage and try to understand the basics of the project. When we come to the webpage, as you can see, we are able to see Flux AI beta is now live. We will talk about this in a minute. Let's go through the basics first. So the slogan is telling us build on Web3 today. So we can build something on Flux. We can understand this. And then it is telling us the Flux Cloud is a people-powered network to help you build decentralized applications with increased flexibility, scalability, and censorship resistance. So Flux project is kinda hard project to understand. It has many features and it has a story. It has a narrative. We will try to understand the narrative and the current structure of the project as clear as we can and as short as we can in a minute. First, let's try to understand the tokenomics, the charts, and the markets, etc. on CoinGecko page. As you can see, total supply is shown as 440 million on CoinGecko. This number is correct. You can confirm this in the documentation of Flux network. It has a proof of work blockchain and it has a halving system like Bitcoin has. Every 2.5 years, the halving is happening. And the circulation supply is shown as 350 million on CoinGecko. This number is also correct. It is an estimation. You can see the Explorer link in here. You can click the Explorer. When you come to the Explorer, you can click the statistics at the top. If you go down a little bit, you can see the total circulation supply in here. There is a chart in here. If you want to check, you can check, but it is not really good chart. It is not really true, but it's still okay. At the top, there is the link as rich list. This is important for us. We can see the distribution of the coins to the wallet addresses. And as you can see in here, there's a wallet which has 160 million Flux coin. It is named as Flux Swap Pool Lect. And so on. You can check all of them and you can estimate a circulation supply according to yourself. So the number shown in here on CoinGecko is correct, but still, when we check the rich list, we can make some adjustments in here. So according to me, if we divide 350 to 440, we can find a circulation percentage amount around 80. But if you ask me, we need to consider this around 60 because of the distribution of the coins to the wallet addresses. So I will resume this video considering this circulation percentage around 60. So when we check the chart, we can confirm that it has been listed on CoinGecko for the last 6 years. 6 years on CoinGecko and 60% of circulation supply is telling us this project is a mature project. When we check the markets in the last 6 years, as you can see in here, it has been listed on many centralized exchanges, including Binance. Before going deeper, let's have a quick summary. According to the supply situation, the risk is between medium and low, and it is closer to the low. According to the chart and price, the risk is between medium and low, and again, it is closer to the low. And according to the markets, the risk is nearly zero. It has been listed on many exchanges, but still, we need to be careful about the centralized exchanges as well. Let's continue with GitHub. On GitHub, they have more than 124 shares, and nearly 10 of them are being updated regularly. No problem on GitHub. They have a good GitHub. Twitter situation is also good. The posts are coming up regularly, and they are all connected to the project. No worries. The Explorer is kind of old school Explorer. We will talk about that in a minute. Let's go to the web page now. Let's try to understand the project as fast and as clear as we can with this story included. As you can see, Flux is an old project, is a mature project. It has started maybe around 8 years ago. And 8 years ago, proof of work networks were very hyped, were very popular, as you know. So actually, Flux infrastructure is proof of work infrastructure, proof of work blockchain, and it has produced with a core infrastructure, which is not really important as for now, and it has a halving system like Bitcoin has. Every 2.5 years, the halving is happening, and the producement of the new coins is going down in percentage, and it is bringing more value. So Flux has been alive with this concept for the last 8 years, actually. And in the meantime, the team of Flux has been developing many other things and has been adding many other things into the Flux ecosystem. So they have learned the nodes and the blockchain itself, then they have created a node decentralized physical infrastructure system with CPUs and GPUs, and then they have started to rent them to the other people and let them mine Flux network or other networks. And they have created their defense system even before we call it a defense system. So after that thing, they have added HDDs and they have created a decentralized storage infrastructure as well. And following these developments, as you know, Web3 came alive and decentralized applications started to be popular. At that point, they have added this system into their infrastructure. You can create applications, you can even create websites, and you can add them into the decentralized storage, and they will be calculated, executed with the CPUs and GPUs with this decentralized physical infrastructure, and they are all connected to the Flux proof of work blockchain. And whenever necessary, Flux coin is going inside of the process. And with the current developments in the last 1 year, as you know, AI is extremely hyped and seems like it will not calm down. Right now, Flux has been developing its own Flux AI system. It is in beta now, and it has been processed by their decentralized physical infrastructure as well. So, what I told you here is the very basic infrastructure understanding of Flux ecosystem. Flux ecosystem has many other things, which I'm not covering in here because we need to understand the basics, and the others can be understandable better. So the Flux coin itself is being used on these infrastructure and on the additions as well. Plus, they have their halving system, which is bringing value to Flux. So let's go through the webpage as fast as we can now. So following the slogan, we have a link in here as deploy now. When we click this, we can see the main application of Flux system. In here, there is this launch link. When you click here, if you want to build something on Flux, an application, once you have handled the code part, you can come to here and you can input the information, and then you can validate and pay, and you can put your application into the ecosystem of Flux. Once you put your application, you can see your application listed on Marketplace. So the other link is the WordPress. If you want to make a website using WordPress, if you have a domain, you can make your hosting on Flux, and you can use this user interface. You can input the information and you can rent a WordPress infrastructure. The other thing is the Flux drive. As you can see in here, 10 gigabytes, 50 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes. You can see the properties and you can see the costs for these drives. So this is similar to Google Drive as storage, basically decentralized storage. And in here, you can see on the marketplace all the applications in the ecosystem of Flux. And in here, as you can see, there are 10 pages. I will give you only one example on the games part. There is a game called as Enshrouded. As you can see, if you click the view application, you can create a server for your Enshrouded game, and it will be 8 slots for a month. The price will be around this number. There are many other applications which you can rent some game servers, other servers, virtual private servers, etc. You can check all of these in here. All of them are using the decentralized physical infrastructure of Flux ecosystem. So in here, your applications, global applications, cost calculator, you can calculate if you want to rent a server, the cost in here approximately, and the guides in here. You can find all of them. So when we go back to the main page, when we click the marketplace, it's going to forward to the same page. When we click wheel cost, it's going to forward to the same page. When we go down a little bit more, we can see the countries, 78 countries. Flux is very popular on Finland, Germany, and United States, as you can see, but it has been operating in 78 countries. Total nodes are more than 13,000. Total cores are more than 106,000, etc. You can see all the numbers in here. So web 1 was read-only. Were reading some information from web pages, and they were not being updated. And web 2, we have our social media accounts right now, which we are interacting with others, but it's not fully decentralized and useful enough yet. And Web3, we own everything that we own actually, and there is this privacy and a new economical system. You can see some of the partners in here. You can see some of the advantages in here: security, low cost, speed, decentralization, etc. You can see a cost calculation comparison with the others. Google Cloud, Amazon, and Azure, as you can see in here, 2 CPU, 4 CPU, and as you can see right now, Flux is extremely cheaper. There is this cost calculator, which is forwarding to the previous link. When we go down a little bit more, we can see the dashboard. There is another dashboard. This is not the main application. This is a dashboard like an explorer. We can see some stats in here. We can see the resources stats. We can see the map. And on the map, we can zoom in. We can find the nodes in here. When we click the nodes, we can see the details, IP addresses, and internet service provider, etc. And we can see the rewards calculation and the details in here. And there's this DAO as well. We will see in a minute. So when we go down a little bit more, we can see an explanation video in here. We can see some of the other partners. We can see the most important products in here: WordPress, FluxDry, Marketplace, which we have already mentioned. This droplet is the application deployment again, which has another user interface. This is again launching the application, which we have already checked. And these applications are using the Flux infrastructure, and these are generally famous. As you can see in here: SushiSwap, Osmosis, Yarn, Keep, etc. When we go down a little bit more, as you can see in here, Flux is going carbon free, and there is this explanation and the certificates on this webpage. If you go down a little more, you can see the 30-day guarantee. If you use some of the system and if you're not satisfied, you can get back your cash 100%, as you can see in the first 30 days, as I understand. So when we go down a little bit more, we have arrived to the end of the page. This menu is same with the top menu. Let's go through as fast as we can. We have mentioned Twitter is going on smoothly. GitHub is smoothly. YouTube as well. They have been creating new videos and live streams regularly, and they're all having good contact with Flux infrastructure. Medium and blog shares are resuming as well in a good manner. No problem. So when we come to the ecosystem, Flux Core Link is not working, which is not really important. Flux Cloud, decentralized applications, they're forwarding to the application again. Flux Nodes, which is telling us about the nodes. The Flux, this is telling us so much about Coin itself, the circulation supply, the hashing algorithm, the distribution style, etc., etc., the exchanges, etc. You can check this page if you're interested with this project. The Zelcore is an application on Windows. Actually, it was a valid application, and now it is a huge application which contains many features, and it is still evolving. The other one is the SSP wallet. This is a Web3 wallet which has been developed by Flux team. You can use this wallet. You can add your Chrome and you can use with the Flux ecosystem. So the dashboard, which we have checked already, the DAO, we have a DAO in here. We can see the proposals, current situation, and if we want to vote, if we want to involve, we can involve as well. The next thing is the Discover. Flux Labs is the place, is the company which has been creating Flux and so many others. As you can see, the portfolio in here, they have created many other things as well. Carbon neutrality, we have checked. White paper, I will not click. We have a roadmap for Q3, Q4 2024, and Q1, Q2 2025. If you check, you will be able to see there will be new developments about the Zelcore application, the infrastructure of Flux, proof of useful work will be alive soon. They're working on it to compete with the new generation proof of stakes. They will not be able to compete fully, but they will catch up as good as they can, as I understand. And the other thing is AI. On their roadmap, there are many things coming together with the Flux AI. And when we click the team, we can see the team. Team is open. You can check the names. You can find them on LinkedIn. They're generally real people, and they're generally shown in the YouTube as well. You can find their interviews, especially Daniel Keller is active on the project, which is getting a check mark for the project. So documentation is sufficient, no problem. Partners, you can check. Block Explorer, very, very old. Application is a phone application, mobile application, which has many features about Flux infrastructure. If you're interested, you can check this application as well. Then Flux Note Startup Guide, an article for notes. Guides, there are many articles for other things. Practice is an article to make the mining more beneficial. Miner is to make a mining article. Buy Flux exchanges. Flux store, you can purchase some Flux stuff like t-shirts, sweatshirts, etc. GitHub, we have already checked. Press kit, a brand kit. Bug bounty, if you find a bug, you can get some rewards. We have mentioned the blog. When you click the social, you can see these social links. Plus, you can see many Telegram channels. You can click careers, you can check the job announcements, and the other one is the support. We have already checked the web page as fast as we can as well. So right now, let's go back to the CoinGecko and try to analyze the project. Let's mention the negatives. The main negative thing is the blockchain of Flux, the proof of work blockchain is extremely old school. And their Explorer is again extremely old school. I did not download Zelcore, but I am sure it is kind of old school, but it has been under development, it's been updated. So maybe it's kind of modern style, but blockchain itself is extremely old school. So this is one negative thing, and it is bringing another negative thing. Flux, as you can see, has many things like a decentralized infrastructure, CPUs, GPUs, decentralized storage, WordPress integration, many decentralized applications and services, etc., etc., etc. These things are not built on top of the Flux proof of work blockchain. They're outside of that blockchain. So they have another decentralized physical infrastructure, and many other outsourced thing is connected to this decentralized infrastructure. This thing is creating some kind of hack risks and centralization hesitations. So these two things are the negative things for this project, but the positives are more. So the total supply is still fixed, and it has a halving system. Circulation supply is increasing, and it's going to reach to the total supply. Then it's going to bring value, the main mentality. So they still keep this one. Even the blockchain itself is old school. They still keep this mentality, which is a very good sign in the industry, which because we know many other projects has switched from fixed total supply to the inflationary total supply. So Flux at this point is in the good place. So GitHub is still active. The team, we can see they're transparent. The YouTube is still active. The blogs are still active. And the exchange listings are quite well. Web page is still developing. New applications are still developing. The ecosystem is still enlarging. And right now, even the blockchain itself is very old school. They're trying to find ways to make it compete with the new generation blockchains while making proof of work into the proof of useful work. So these are the positive things. And twice, let's try to understand the project. If a hard bull market arrives and if it stays for some time, Of course, the price will jump at some point, and if you ask me, it's gonna make some moves similar to the previous ones. And if the bull market resumes for a long time, the jumps will repeat, if you ask me. At this point, we need to know decentralized physical infrastructure category is rising. If it shines so much in the bull market, these jumps can be higher. Plus, this project has a halving, and it is coming in the next 1 year. And in the next 1 year, if a bull market arrives together with the halving, and if the deep pin category shines, these jumps can be more. We need to be careful on that one. If a bull market is not arriving soon, if the sideways market continues, if you ask me, the price will go sideways and then go lower very slowly. No problem at this point as well. And according to the location, the ranking, what can I say for this project is if I see this project between number 1 and number 50, it's gonna surprise me because this project has some centralization hesitation. When a project has a centralization hesitation, the first 50 will not keep this project inside. It's gonna be extremely hard. But if you tell me this project will be placed around 60, it's not gonna surprise me. If you tell me this project will move around 50 and 300, one day we will see it on 68th place. One day we will see it on 200th place. This will not surprise me. This project has a great infrastructure, is still evolving, expanding, developing, and growing in the ranking is possible, but going more than 50 seems not possible for me. But 60, it is possible. I do not know if it can stay there, but we can see it in there at one day. I don't know. Yeah. So these things are all from me for Flux project. Please do not forget, nothing is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. Crypto industry is still too much risky, still a young industry. We need to be very careful. There are security risks as well. Please be careful. Hope everything goes well from your side. Hope to see you in the next one. Take care.